Hello everyone, welcome to my tutorial on Introduction to Java. Today we are going to talk about debugging. So debugging is a process for checking, detecting, and correcting errors or bugs to allow proper program operation according to set specification. So when we run a program, it gives us the output. But if we would like to see how our logics are performing within the program before it fully executes, that process is called the debugging. So let's get into the code, and I'm going to open Eclipse where we can look into the debugging process. So in order to debug a process, first we need to have a debugging point. So in this case, I have put my debugging point over here at line 10. Okay. So what does it mean? It means that when I put my debugging point at that point, so the debugging will start immediately after that point, and I can verify the logics. So if you go to Eclipse and then go to your class and then debug as, and you go to Java application. Remember, before we did run as Java application, so it executes the whole program at a time. But if you go as a debug as and then go to Java application, and then it will give you a debugging perspective. So here you can see that confirm perspective switch, and then click on switch. So now you are in the debugging perspective. So I can increase this size. Okay. All right. So now here at the right side, you see the variables are there, and there we have the breakpoints. So my breakpoint is at line 10, which you can see here. So now let's go to the variables. And in the variables, you can see my value of letter grade is 0, which is this one. Okay. And then I'm going to execute one statement. So how do I do this? If you just click on or tab on F6 button just once, you go to the next line, and then you can see the value of I, which is this one, is 0. Okay, and then 0 is less than this one. Okay, so we are going to execute the later statements because this is true, the condition is true. So now let's click on again F6 button in your laptop or computer. So when I click F6, it moves on to the next statement, and I get the value of grade. So see, the grade is A, okay, which is expected because this is the 0 index with the value of 0. So I get the value of A. Okay, now I get into the switch statement, and with the value of grade A. So let's move on, and then see, it immediately came over here because this is true. So since this is case A, I'm getting this value. And then it comes to the break statement, and you can see the break statement over here, and the letter grade has changed to 4 because it was 0 and plus 4 is total 4. And then it will go to the next statement, where the next statement is here because we had a break statement, right? So with the value of 0, now it will be incremented to 1, and see, you can immediately see 1, and since this condition is true, I'm moving on to the next statement, and with the value of I equals 1, I'm getting the grade, so grade B, and then it's coming over here, right? Because this statement is true. So since this statement is true, I'm getting what? I'm getting the letter grade as B, and then I'm adding this one, and then I'm going to break, and then I'm moving on to this statement again. So let's come here. Okay, so let's make another breakpoint. So I'm going to put the breakpoint here. Okay, case C. Okay, so now you can see the statement is executed, and I get the value of I equals 2, which is still true, and then the next statement with the index of 2, the char value is A, so I get A, okay, and then this statement is executed because this is true, but this will not be executed because this is not true. So if I go here, see the break statement, and then it come over here again. So now if I click on F6 again, the statement is, the I statement is, the value of I is 3, and then I get the value as grade equals C. The next statement is executed, and then I immediately, let's say I put another breakpoint here, okay. So it will not go there because this statement was false, so it didn't execute it. And then I come over here, I get the value of the case C is, this one is true, so I get the value of this. Okay, so now if I am having another breakpoint over here, okay, so let's see, if I click on F6, it will go over here again, okay, in this statement. But I don't want to do that. I want to just move on, or I would like to move on all these statements and come to the next breakpoint, which is this one. So in that case, I have to just click on F8. Okay, click on F8, F8, and then it come over here. Okay, and then if you click on F6, you see, if you just put your cursor over here, you also get the value. So the letter grade is 16. The letter grade is 16. Okay, and then if you click on F6, you get your first printout, and then if you again click F6, it executes the whole program, and we are done. Okay, and remember, we are getting 3 because we haven't explicitly casted it to double. Okay, so I always suggest that when the program involves a lot of condition and a lot of if-else statement and a lot of iterations, always try to put the debugger, and you put a breakpoint, and then try to see what is your outcome on that debugging point. Is that expected? Is that what you want to see or not? Okay, this is the way that we can make our program correct. So in the next tutorial, we'll be talking about some other examples, but for today, goodbye. Thanks.